Hello. So today I want to talk to you about the game Ink. And this was actually one of my most anticipated games of 2025, and it did not disappoint. So this is a tile laying puzzly game, which you know I love. So in this game, every player is going to be playing with one color of ink bottles, and these bottles are phenomenal. So let me get some of these out. I mean, the look of these is just so great. So every player will be a color. There's purple, orange, red, and blue. So you'll have your bottles, and the goal is to get all of your bottles placed first, and then you are the winner. So what happens is there are these cards that show you're going to have 12 bottles in the color, and you're randomly going to get one of these at the beginning of the game. And you must place 12 of your bottles on that color ink. You will then have an additional 12 bottles that can be placed on any color on the board. And there are some ways throughout the game that you can potentially move bottles from one spot to the other. So starting out, you just get a random card. So for me, orange and blue is my color that I have to place on. So I put these bottles on this card so that I know what needs to be done. And then my other 12 bottles will be off of this card. And then one of my bottles will be used to move around the rondel. So there is an X at the top, and that is where everyone starts. And then we have a whole bag full of ink tiles. You're going to get one ink tile as your starting tile, and they are reversible. So you can place it however you want in your starting position. And then except for the X spot, there will be a tile around here. And on your turn, it's really simple. On your turn, move these out of the way, you are going to pick one of the tiles around the circle that you want to add to your section. So tiles that have numbers on them, that's the goal. So this one, for example, when I get 4 dark blue pieces connected, I will get to put one of my bottles on that dot, as well as any other dots of that color. So let's say, for example, let me find something that will work. And the tiles come in all different styles, and it's meant to imitate how ink just flows. So let's say I had this going on right here in my area, and I move my bottle and I put this here. So I've now completed an area of 4, but dark blue is not my required color. So I get to put the 3 bottles there. And now those spots are blocked off. So if I'm going to now count other tiles in this dark blue area, the ones with bottles won't count. So then this is refilled and the next player will go. So like I said, you can go as far around the circle as you want to get the tile you want, but once you go and would need to go past the X, you have to take a tile from the bag that forces you to cover up something on your board. So that's not always great. You get one of these tiles, and it tells me I have to cover up at least one light blue spot, which for me, I'm trying to place on light blue. So maybe I would cover that up. And now for the rest of the game, I'm not going to be able to use those areas. So going too far to get a tile you want will penalize you. So you do want to try and utilize tiles that are out there. So you take as few of those double X or the X tiles as possible. So you're going around and you're doing this on every turn. When you're completing areas, you're filling them out. And based on the size of area as well, there is an objectives board. When you complete a 4, you'll get something, a 5, a 6, a 7. You can complete those. And these change per game. So there's a lot of variability that you get there, that these are not always going to work the same. And some are more powerful than others. Some are more advanced than others. So you can tailor your game how you want it that way. And then the end game is triggered once someone has placed all 24 of their bottles out into their area. And then you finish up, and whoever has the most points wins. Any bottles you have not placed are points against you. So typically the winner has 0 unless they placed more than their actual bottles. And then there's some black bottles that come into play, which you can look that up in the rule book. And then every bottle you have left is a negative point. So basically the score closest to 0 is going to be the winner. Everyone else is going to be negative. But it's really cool because you're just trying to figure out what is the ideal way to place the tiles that are out there. Do I want to flip them? Do I want to rotate them? You can place them anywhere you want too. Like, colors don't have to match up if you don't want them to. It's going to be beneficial if they do, but you get to play this however you want. It looks really cool on the table, and I love that rondel or that ratchet action or whatever it is, that you can go as far as you want, but you cannot back up. And so you may really want something, but at what cost? So this is a fun, thinky, puzzly game. It also has a solo mode, and it plays up to 4 players. So that is Ink, one of my most anticipated games of 2025, and I am loving it. If you have played it, let me know what you think. Give me a like and a follow, and I'll keep bringing you more board game content. Thanks. Bye.